All right. All right. Let me take the hair out of. Okay. Sorry. Hair comes out. Okay. All right. I sound good too. Okay. That sounds good. My mic sounds nice. Okay. What is up, everybody? What is up? So sorry I was a little late getting here. Please excuse me, but we're gonna get right on into it. Anybody watching? All right. So it's Saturday night, so I don't really expect a bunch of people to be watching. You know, I expect people to be out partying for real. But tonight I was like, I didn't have any prior engagements, so I said we're gonna go live. All right. So for anybody who's new to this channel, today, first of all, we're gonna discuss more of pop culture type stuff. It's Saucy Saturdays, so let's stay saucy and just like have fun with it, right? So, but saucy, but with some controversy to it. So anyway. For anybody who's watching, I'm going to address my little video that is starting to go live thanks to shout out Broken Tradition. So I'm going to address that. And we're going to talk about Chrissy Tiegen. The main event is what we're going to talk about. But I want to let people know, I noticed I got a lot of new followers, new subscriptions, subscribers. If you have not subscribed to this channel and you just kind of come across this live, please hit subscribe, please hit like, please hit share. All right, but the main thing is please hit subscribe because, censorship is real no matter what. It's not even just about like a political thing. Censorship is real. A person could just decide they don't want to hear from you and then they try to censor you, okay? So, excuse me. That's not cool in America. Like freedom of speech is still a real thing. So support a sister and hit subscribe. So anyway, this is That Girl Casey Media. So I'm always going to keep it real as I can. We're going to talk about like the inconvenient truth, certain topics that like, if you have just started following me, whether it be on Twitter, or on Instagram, and on YouTube, I'm always going to be as real as I can. 33:3 means it's Job 33:3, basically saying that my lips speak from an upright heart, and I speak the truths that, sincerely speak to people. And that's what I ask God to help me to do as much as possible. So sometimes with the truth, it may not sound nice. I mean, well, and I hate crimes to humanity and I want the best for everybody, but that comes with a harsh reality. All of us have to deal with some sort of harsh reality, right? And but at the end of the day, not everybody has to agree on everything, but facts are facts, but not everybody has to agree on everything, but at least we could have a regular dialogue discussion, okay? All right, so first we're going to talk about the Woman King. We're going to get into this little video that, some people have seen and they wanted to, I guess, like, I got some followers from this. I didn't mean that. I was just really just saying what was on my mind. So I just want to share this real quick. I get to see the background. Little background drawing real quick. Oh, I got some notifications. I'm gonna check my Twitter with y'all. So okay. People continue to wow people. Okay, sorry. Some people like retweeted my live, and I really love when they do that. All right, so we're gonna play this little video. Okay.
This weekend called The Woman King.
Please forgive me, my face is a little overwhelming in this video, but anyway, so all right, we're about to hit play. Let me make sure it's working too. All right, we're good on sound. Can't wait to get a sound director. All right.
If you don't know, there's a new movie coming out this weekend called The Woman King with Viola Davis, right?
Yeah, that's dead on arrival. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's liberal media that doesn't care. You want to know what's worse about that movie? I just found out I didn't want to know nothing about it. Once I seen, and it's a shame. It could have been a really good movie. It could have. But I know what they're doing, and so I'm already turned off. But that is about the Dahomey tribe or something in Africa, and it's supposed to be about like they're gonna stop slavery from happening or something. And then when people went back and looked at the history, apparently this is the tribe that had us all spread out in the world. Like apparently the homie tribe was hyped to sell Africans into slavery. Like that's in fact the real story.
So that's how that little commentator, that's how that ended, right? And so I had found that out on, shout out to Broken Traditions always. Hold on. Sorry. All right. So yeah, shout out to Broken Traditions always, because Broken Traditions, so I had went live that same night about other stuff or whatever, about, the FBI, they're coming to get you too. Okay. So anyway, and then, Broken Traditions was going live about, the whole Little Mermaid situation, how, people are mad that they made the Little Mermaid black. And it's not that I'm mad that they made the Little Mermaid black, because it's bigger fish to fry, like the FBI getting ready to come for you too. But anyway, but my thing is, like, I'm not going to give my money to lazy writing. It's tokenized writing. So I also follow Eric July, who's he calls himself also to Young Ripper. And he has this new, like, comic out, Ripperverse or whatever, ISOM or whatever. And so, people are hating on him because, so he would always say, like, you guys are always tokenizing a character. He would say, like, it's always Black Superman, Black Spider-Man, Black, all right, yeah, we have the Black Panther, but for the most part, it's always like, we're just going to take this guy and we're going to turn him black. So he would say, like, y'all don't really believe that Black people could carry a main lead on something, So they were like, well, if you complaining, like, people were like, well, if you complaining, why don't you write your own comic? And so he did. And so let me see if I can find ISOM on Twitter for y'all. But he wrote his own comic. I'm gonna see Eric July, because this guy, first of all, like, he's like my mentor. He doesn't know that he's my mentor, but he is, like, no, he's definitely inspirational to me. So and so this was when he was getting ready to talk about ISOM or whatever. I'm trying to see if there's any pictures. People are already, like, dressing like, hold up. I'm going to play a little bit of this because this Saucy Saturday.
As promised by our stretch goal, the Ripperverse Fan Art Contest has officially launched. The rules are very simple. Come up with any type of art as long as it's yours and it's original, and your work is eligible for the contest. You can do artwork based on any of the Ripperverse characters that have been revealed. Once you're finished, visit ripperverse.com/fanart. Enter in your information, accept the terms, and upload the art file directly to us. You can post your work on...
That's decent that he's doing that too. I didn't even know he was doing that. You see people, like, the fact that you resort to insulting and disrespecting customers attracted to the Ripperverse is precisely the problem with modern mainstream entertainment. So people make, and it's, look, okay, man, but I'll go off of who I meet. I'm not with all that. All white people are bad and all Black people are bad and all Asian people are bad. Yo, if you got a good vibe, I'm vibing with you. That's where I'm at with it. But white liberals really be like, you shouldn't do this. Blackie, I'm going to save you. What? Like, I don't need you to save me. Blackie, I'm going to give you a movie and you're going to like it just because it's Black, right? So, no, it's like, give me, like, real talent, like real, give me real content. I just want a good movie or a good comic, and then because Eric July is a known libertarian, it's like, he believes in the Second Amendment and stuff like that. So then people would be like, they'll say stuff like, the weird racist white people you be vouching for will not be buying this, and neither will we. And then the person gonna laugh, and then he's like, ISOM campaign #1. You know what I'm saying? He's crowdfunding it and he's doing his thing on this channel. But of course I can't find, and then he made an episode, the obsession of getting white folks sloppy. You see, this is what he had to say about the Black Ariel. Like, look at, first of all, this face in this thing is hilarious. It's like, and not just even the Black Ariel. Like, I don't know who these other guys are supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be Commissioner Gordon or something on Batman or something. I don't be watching movies no more because of this. Like, when I noticed that there was a pandering in movies was when I watched the Star Wars, where the girl had to be the she had to be the hero, and she was healing these monsters, these animals in the Jedi, you know, like with her hands, like she was a Jedi healer, like she would place her hands and cure wounds. And I'm like, no Jedi has ever done that. But because it's a whammon, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a whammon. Now I remember asking my nephew, like, my nephew, I was like, but what? She healing me? He was like, yeah, Jedi Jesus for a whammon. I'm like, I don't need all that pandering. Give me the real movie. But at the end of the movie, you had like they won some whatever, the Republic, whatever. And it was like two girls that just randomly French kissed in the movie. And I'm like, what is this? He's like, yeah, that's what they be doing in movies now. I was like, what? When did that start? Like, I didn't realize it was slowly creeping up. Now that's all they do. They check off all boxes. Okay, do we have a black whammon hero? Do we have a couple gay people in there? We need a binary something. We need to, and then now we can make the movie. What? Make the movie. That's all I need. So now he's talking about, this is the type of stuff he's talking about, especially like they got this thing, this new, man, I don't even watch none of this stuff no more. I never did watch Lord of the Rings when I was younger, which is something I still need to go back and watch. But they got the Rings of Power, and it's the same thing again. Let me make sure that my sound is good, because you know. So it's the same thing again. It's like, we got to have a black Norwegian gnome or whatever. No, that's not what it's predicated on. That's not how it was written. So he wrote, the obsession of getting white folks sloppy seconds is particularly egregious in the context of tokenization. All of these race, gender, sexuality swaps are done purposely. Yes, their excuses are disingenuine, and it is bad for the art form, period. And he's right. That's what happens. It's like, just swap, and it's lazy. It's absolutely lazy. So I'm trying to get y'all to see some of like his the artwork for ISOM. Just gonna have to put out they see like so somebody must have been coping and seeding and stuff. So you know, somebody was told 3 million isn't a lot of money. Goalpost shift. 3.5 million is impressive. Like, that's what people do. So real quick, I just want y'all to see what ISOM look like. I ordered a shirt. I've never been the type to like watch. Here we go. So now we freezing. Unfreaking believable. What's going on? Like, God, it makes me sick sometimes. I never like read comics, but I like to watch movies based off of comics. I used to. So I haven't, like, I know I'm not reading like a comic book, but I do like art form based off of comics and stay as close to it as possible. But I definitely ordered a shirt though, because the shirt looked tight. So I'm just waiting for that to come through. So, and then yes, he was like, yo, like, I'm gonna make, he was like, I'm gonna make a comic with a black man in it. And it's not just because he's a black man. Avery Silverman is a common rancher, but that wasn't always the case. After obtaining some unique abilities, Avery spent a brief stint being a hero under the moniker ISOM in the city of Florence Park, Texas. Realizing that it wasn't for him, he walked away from his life. But after responding to a call from his sister, some violent altercations ensue, and Avery reconsidering his approach. What happened? Grab ISOM, and it sounds cool. So like, this guy was like, he was a hero, but then he stopped because he probably was like, you know, franchise corporate propaganda. But then something happened, and now he has to go back to his hero ways, and he's going to have a lot of issues with that. And it's like, it was really cool. So it sounds like it's really cool, and I'm glad to see him getting his due diligence for that. But so it is the boycott, is the propaganda of all of it that gets on my nerves. It's the inorganic representation, more representation. That's all you hear. But when I said about that movie, and we're not going to stay on this too long, but when I said about that movie, Dead on Arrival, I didn't mean like they were going to boycott Woman King. I couldn't believe it. I started cracking up. I said, you see, liberals be like, just give them a story and we're going to change. We're going to make all the women save the men. Like, come on. Imagine being photographed for this cover, evoking your lineage as an American descendant of chattel slaves, then glorifying the tribes who sold them into slavery. You see what I'm saying? They are, and I feel bad, right? Because she really worked hard for this movie. And Hollywood has played in the face of descendants of slaves for far too long. Now they're glorifying African slave traders with the Woman King. But see, the problem is y'all wanted this pandering. We need more representation. So they say, here it is. So it's like things have to happen organically. I'm sorry. We had Friday, we had Black movies. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened. I mean, we have Black character. I don't know, but I know that anything that's forced down somebody's throat it's not going to work. It's not. So, and Viola Davis, she allowed them to typecast her now as this like safari, like hardcore woman that like, she's never going to get a soft role again. And then now the last movie that she's being typecasted in is definitely tanking. And some people are like, no, this is done on purpose. This tanking just because their numbers are low. So they're going to blame it on whatever your number, dead on arrival. All right. So we know that we came here to talk about Chrissy Tiegen and her just this girl. I could not believe what I was seeing when I was reading this. I said, this is crazy. I said, these people need this. Okay, let's everybody calm down. Right. First, let's go to her Instagram so we can start the story from the top. No, let's just read her. First, we're going to read her reveal. Chrissy Tiegen reveals she had an abortion to save my life for a baby that had absolutely no chance. She had previously said that she had a miscarriage. It had taken me over a year to understand that I actually had an abortion. An emotional Tiegen confessed at a Day of Unreasonable Conversation summit. I need to find this nut behind summit that had her acting there going full. You could take this off. I do not need. Chrissy Tiegen has confessed Thursday that the miscarriage she said she had 2 years ago was actually an abortion, which came as a surprise to her. We're going to come back to that. Tiegen and husband, John Legend, had revealed that in September 2020, they lost their son, Jack, at 20 weeks as a result of a pregnancy complication. At the time, they said it was a miscarriage. Speaking at a social impact agency, a Day of Unreasonable Conversation Summit, which was held Thursday, Tiegen said the revelation that it was, in fact, an abortion came as a shock to her. 2 years ago, when I was pregnant with Jack, and John, and my third child. Okay, what? We're pregnant with Jack, John, and my third child. I had to make a lot of difficult and heartbreaking decisions. It came very clear around halfway through that he would not survive and that I wouldn't either without any medical intervention. Tiegen, who shares Luna 6 Miles Forward Legend, is currently pregnant and is, oh shit. All right. Noted that she had great medical care and loving friends and family supporting her. She was also grateful for the strangers who showed her support after the couple went public with the news. She went on discussing her miscarriage before stopping herself. Let's just call it what it was. It was an abortion, the star said. An abortion to save my life for a baby that had absolutely no chance. And to be honest, I never ever put that together until actually a few months ago. Tiegen said that she came to the realization after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade earlier this month. She expressed to Legend that she felt sympathy towards people who have an abortion and the circumstances they had to go through and the emotional decision they had to make when Legend made her realize that she was in fact one of those people. I felt silent, feeling weird that I hadn't made sense of it that way. Tiegen shared, I told the world that we had a miscarriage. The world agreed we had a miscarriage. All the headlines said was miscarriage. And I became really frustrated that I didn't in the first place say that it would say what it was. And I felt silly that it had taken me over a year to actually understand if we call it abortion. All right, but so you know what I'm saying? So in the multiple conversations, blah, 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 blah. So she realized a year later that she had an abortion. There's so many ways to unpack this. But first thing to know about Chrissy Tiegen is that she is the biggest narcissist I think that ever existed. And with this one move right here, she has in fact swooped that title from Meghan Markle, who's been running around being a borderline narcissist like crazy these past few months. But she had to calm down a tad bit because the queen had died. But anyway, Tiegen, with this one move, she swooped that title from Meghan Markle like, I want it back. This is the same person who told some girl who said something. The girl was, I don't know what argument they got into it, and Tiegen went online and told the girl to go kill herself. And then she made herself the daggone victim of the situation. Like, I couldn't believe that I said that. I was so sad when I said that. And oh my God, what was me? I shouldn't have said that. And I just had a lot going on. And I was just so hurt. And she kind of like made herself the victim of that. You never tell anybody to go kill themselves. And you're never so jacked up. A person like this is never so jacked up in life, going hungry or anything, where they lose their mind that hard to tell somebody. Like, come on, there's no struggle that you are going through, Chrissy Tiegen, where you thought that was okay to tell somebody. Now, let's unpack a little bit of what she's saying here too. She's like, she had to 2 years ago, at the time she said it was a miscarriage. Hold on a second. That they lost. It was the revelation that was back. Abortion came as a shock to her. I mean, can you hear the borderline personality disorder? Can you hear? It's like, oh my God. And it was a shock to me. These celebrities are playing around too much. It was a shock to you. Here's what I think happened. I think you had an abortion. I think you knew you were having an abortion, and you decided to have the abortion because maybe you had a deal coming up, and maybe it became too much for you to feel overwhelmingly pregnant. And then now you told yourself that I'm so stressed out. Oh my God, now the baby's not gonna grow inside of me the right way. I'm so stressed out, and I feel like I'm gonna kill myself. She never said. She's like, I had complications. She's like, I had complications. You know what I'm saying? Pregnancy complications. There's so many things that's called a pregnancy complication. My pregnancy is making me suicidal. That is called a pregnancy complication. I am a nurse telling you that. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I gotta make sure this sounds good. I hit the mic. I hate when I do that. Sorry, y'all. All right. So yeah. So I still have this now. So yeah, they could say that like I'm suicidal. All of a sudden I realize it's just too much. I'm just so stressed out. I can't eat. The baby's not going to survive, which is true, right? Which is true. The baby won't survive because a lot of times when somebody, and it kills me, man. Yo, I'm calling all of this out. I am. A lot of times when somebody says I had a pregnancy complication, they'll say like, because I was so sick with the preeclampsia or something, the baby wasn't being nourished, and I was so sick, like my blood pressure was going so high, and I was getting congestion and whatever. So then that, the baby, that people offer that kind of detail, so you don't have any kind of confusion. She didn't offer any detail, and then we're not allowed to ask her, well, what was the pregnancy complication? Oh no, that's privacy. You can't ask me, but y'all been asking me for a vaccine. Huh. Y'all keep asking me for a card about some sort of medical treatment or something anytime I got to go get a cheeseburger. So who cares about that anymore, right? So all of a sudden they have some sort of, and now she's like, oh, I realized I kept saying it was a miscarriage, but it actually was an abortion. How you don't know is a miscarriage when you are having a miscarriage, not a abortion, a elective abortion. A miscarriage is considered a spontaneous abortion. A miscarriage is, baby's inside of you, but all of a sudden, for some reason, maybe the placenta is detaching from the wall of the uterus for whatever reason, and you start bleeding. That means your body has now spontaneously expelling the baby, and you need to be rushed to the hospital to get the baby out. So that's your body spontaneously aborting the baby, abort mission, right? For whatever reason, sometimes there's things that make that happen. Like, people who are pregnant should not take Motrin, because it could cause bleeding issues and things like that. And so you don't want to start excessively bleeding because, again, you're gonna, a period and pregnancy really don't mix. A lot of times, a lot of women are late in their stage of pregnancy and they have a little bit of detachment that's happening. So then they have like spotting. So then they put them on bed rest, like you cannot move around because gravity is going to pull down and detach the placenta before the baby comes out. Okay. And so I can understand that. So you rush to the hospital, like, oh my God, something's happening. I'm rushing to the hospital because I'm not going to survive and the baby's not going to survive. But an elective abortion is just simply what it is. We need to stop sugarcoating all of this. And to me, it was elective. And I'm going to tell you why. I felt something wasn't right when it happened in the first place. But I was at that time in my life in 2020 where I was having an awakening about so many things. I was like, Casey, maybe you're just being like extra right now. Like maybe you're just being extra because you're so sensitive to not like, you're just so sensitive to lies now where you just think everything is a lie. That can happen. It can happen. So we're going to show you though, because I know it's still on there. I know it's still on there because borderline is not going to take it off. Borderline needs as much attention as it can get. You know what I mean? So hold on. Boy, probably private. Y'all don't act like Chrissy Tiegen is not still on. Okay. She had went off the grid for a minute after she told that girl to kill herself. You know what I'm saying? She had to go off the grid, but she came back on the grid and now she's pregnant again. But, you know, and the sad thing is, I think she's probably a really good mom. She probably is, but women get caught in a lot of emotional conversations and women are allowed to parade and act the fool how they want. So there's certain things that they don't get stopped from doing. And when she was acting up like that, telling that girl she needed to kill herself and all, like that kind of business is because you thought you could just be emotional like that. And look, people that accept her again, nobody talks about it. I got to pull that story up before we leave. You see, like even this picture, like what is she crying about? I don't know. All right. But I remember after that thing happened, though, I think Target had pulled her off of like their stuff. But I know she got this picture on here. Maybe she took these people. They post all day long. So what is this? When did this happen? We only in March. Forget it. I know how. All right, hold on. I want to find it on her page so we can see all the pictures. Okay, there's something about a mess. I think we're getting close, y'all. We're going to have the real abortion discussion too. I'm not done. All of it, I'm not done. She might have took it off too. Oh, we're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. That looked good though, whatever that little thing she was, whatever that little cheese she was bristling on. You know, I like a nice little greasy cheese. That look kind of good, right? All right, hold on. Now I tried to invite the best podcaster I've ever met in life, Josh Slocum, to see if she could come to this live, because then it would have been even better. It would have been even, it's good now, but it would have been even better. But he must have not seen my email, and that's okay, of course. And he's a busy man. He's doing amazing things. The Disaffected podcast. God, his show is so good. I mean, he speaks on borderline personality disorder better than any certified anything that I know. Okay, definitely better than me. And I've worked with these patients. I know a lot about these patients, but Josh Slocum is like the guru of BPD. And people get mad at him about them, like, you're not a licensed professional to make that kind of he's not stupid either. You know, y'all not even taking care of people with BPD anymore. So I will look up BPD and what it is. All right, we're gonna just do the whole thing. Okay, I think we're almost there, guys. And then she probably took the pictures down. She took them down. I know she did. She probably was like taking pictures. Yep, she took them down. Freaking annoying behind. That's all right, because we're still gonna find it though. That's all right. Where's she at? Get on my nerves. Taking the picture down. Hold on. We'll still say miscarriage. Her husband's just as bad as her when it comes to things like this. Yeah, see? So, I mean, I could not. So, this, I believe. So, all right, hold on. Chrissy Tiegen and John Legend suffer pregnancy loss. I said, when I saw this, I was like, you know, I feel bad she had a miscarriage. I was like, but I'm a little confused. Like, at what point, you know, do we say, like, guys, call the professional? We need to call the professional photographer. These are professional shots. I need to put my hair up and I have to just, because I need the world to see that I am hurting right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hurting right now and I need the world to see it, you know? And so, you know what I mean? Like, we have these pictures and John Legend's right there. We're like, baby, we have these pictures. We got to take the pictures of the baby crying. And we just, I mean, of you crying and, oh my God, we just, this is just so sad. Like, I know, excuse me. I know these people are celebrities and they're used to taking pictures all the time and whatever, but like at what point? But this was the picture that did it for me, that let me know. I said, she's something else. God bless this nurse. She done been constantly shared. This was around the time of the pandemic when we still had real nurses and not these narcissistic Jones you be seeing now talking about, you know, I'm a hero, I'm essential, and I save lives, and, you know, binary, gender affirming care, slice it off. No, this broad right here, you could tell she's real with it because she's not falling into it. I looked at this picture, I said, she like, so the person was like, all right, I'm going to get you right here at this angle. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just getting you right here. And just, oh my God. And the nurse is still there. Click, 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 click. You know why? Because she's looking like, I don't even know why she's doing all this. Like, and then look, she was tweeting, driving home from the hospital with no baby. This can't be real. You're acting like it's a miscarriage, but you had an abortion. You knew it was coming. And that's why the nurse is signing stuff off, because she knows the same thing too. She's not there like saying, you know, trying to be compassionate. And I'm sure she was a great nurse the whole time. But in that picture, she's signing stuff off like, oh, she crying? Oh, that's not usually how we act. We normally will be like, you know, do you want me to get you something to drink? So, but it was a photo shoot. So she couldn't get that much. She couldn't do her job and be a nurse because she had to get the perfect shots. And now it's just like, well, let's just call it what it was. I had to have this abortion to save my life. But then you're putting, I can't believe I'm coming home without a baby. Yo, man, these people are crazy. They just are. And why I don't approve of this kind of attention seeking is because you're dealing with lives now. We all do attention seeking. You know, sometimes we post a little something on Instagram after we just got our new hair installed, and we, you know what I mean, like you have a little, yeah, like, oh, I hope so and so see it. That's no, everybody has that kind of behavior in them. You're a liar if you say you don't have that kind of vanity in you. You have vanity in you, but this is beyond that. Okay. And I just want to look up borderline personality disorder. Then we're going to see about her behavior with that girl. Borderline personality disorder is a mental illness that severely impacts, a person's ability to regulate their emotions. The loss of control can increase impulsivity, effect on how a person feels about themselves, and negatively impact their relationship with others. Yeah, a lot of times, like these people, the cause of borderline personality disorder isn't well understood. Diagnosis is based on symptoms. Symptoms include emotional instability, feelings of worthlessness, insecurity, impulsivity, and impaired relationships. Let me see. Borderline behavior. Let's put behavior. Behavior examples. Okay. I keep saying impulsive. Spending sprees, unsafe sex, substance, more than that. It's more than that. Nah, this thing is like, man. and I shouldn't read anything from 2022 because now they're pandering to these people because most of our administrations are people who are full of borderline personality disorder. Keep understanding the roller coaster, environmental effect, early childhood adversity, such as child abuse and neglect may be a cause. Yeah, that is true. There are many misconceptions. This disorder is misunderstood by many, including some mental health practitioners. This confusion can impact the influence of the way people are treated. Even worse, longstanding myths can discourage people from seeking help for the condition, especially if they feel like the experience is being misunderstood. All right, I gotta see how I'm explaining this. So y'all stick with me. We're gonna listen. Myth, people with BPD are often victim of child abuse, not always. Okay, so here's what it is. The person feels insufficient for some reason in their life. A lot of times it is because of child abuse. A lot of times it's because they didn't get enough hugs growing up. I once knew a person, we'll say it this way, who had a severe case of this because they want acceptance to the point of that's how they survive, is based off acceptance. And it might sound crazy, right? But it's like, if I don't feel accepted, it's like, if I don't feel accepted, I'm worthless. What is the point of me? So I need other people to validate my existence and my reasoning. So other people have a lot of other stuff going on. So when you're not getting that attention from other people, you now resort to these behavior situations where they're always, a lot of them always say, I'm going to kill myself. Okay. And it's a very fine line with these people. So there's nothing that they won't do for attention, including manipulating you. They need you to, nothing's ever good enough. They need you to constantly validate their reason for living. So if they're not getting attention for people, a lot of times they'll take a bunch of Tylenol, but they know that their husband is coming home in 15 minutes. So he'll find the person laid out on the floor. You know what I mean? And so, oh my God, my wife is. So now, of course, attention, 911, ambulance. Now they done made it to my facility and they're sitting there and they're just like crying and they don't know. They're so depressed. And oh my God. And I'm not making fun of this. I'm telling you, this is real. And you have people who really are depressed and don't have borderline personality disorder, but you have a lot of people who have borderline personality disorder, which cause a depression of some sort. And they'll act out and throw tantrums or something. And it's like, we got to really be careful how we deal with so-and-so because we don't want, we don't want her to get to the point where we can't control her or whatever. But to me, my way of dealing with patients like that, it is not being mean. No, I will validate the fact that you've been through something, but we need to be realistic and understand that we're dealing with it in a very unhealthy manner and that you can accidentally hurt yourself. Okay. And you don't want that. You don't want to die. You don't, because you keep magically not dying. Okay. And why don't we talk about what the real issue is and let's work through that instead of all of this other stuff that you're doing for hugs. I'm not just hugging you just to hug you. You know what I'm saying? And with people like this, we have to set boundaries and we must keep those boundaries. Men can have this too, but this is a lot of time in women. Men, I hate when men, a lot of men who have this usually have an apparatus like a colostomy or something. And it's like, it's leaking again. Oh, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, oh God, why did they give him a colostomy bag? I gotta go change it. Anyway, so men so a lot of times it's like that with them. Like they done hurt themselves in some fashion enough to like get something out. But with women, you have to maintain boundaries. There was this one patient I had where she would sit at the door, and as soon as the new shift was coming in, she'd be like, "Oh my God, I need to talk to you right now. I need to talk to you right now." And people would be like, "Oh my God, okay, okay, Jane Doe, just let me, I'm just gonna go clock in. Okay, I promise you, I'm gonna be right back to you. I'm gonna get right back to you." And me, I would come through the door and say, "Oh my God, Casey, you're my nurse. Oh my God, I need to talk to you right now. I need to talk to you right now." And I'd be like, I just walked in. We will set up a time, but I need to go clock in and I'm getting a report right now. Okay. That's not being mean. It's setting a boundary. You have to have boundaries. Okay. So So that's how I felt like, that's to me is like how I felt like I dealt with them. And I had a guy one time tell me like, if you don't give me juice right now, I'm going to run my head through the door. And then I'm going to, bang my head on the door. Like I'm going to run into a wall. And I was like, okay. He was like, you don't care? I said, you said you're going to do it. Like, well, I can't stop you. I can help you afterwards. My method is very like, there's a method to my madness, but it's very bring you to the reality of the situation. Okay, you're gonna hurt yourself for attention because you wanted the juice right now. I'm still gonna have my neck. Now I'm definitely gonna call 911 and I'm gonna help you. I'm not talking you out of doing that. I'm not doing that. This is an adult decision that you are making, and you will deal with the consequences. So it's like it's very, again, it's my way, and it's a fine line, but I kind of felt like I knew how to walk it. And then when they were having good days, I would tell them like, you did really good in group today. You didn't, you did a very good job. Thank you for sharing the way you did. It made sense. A lot of the stuff you said, like, yeah, people should be validated when they do a good job, right? So, but we have a Chrissy Tiegen and a John Legend who are celebrities who, when's the last song you heard John Legend put out that you was like, yo, I got to put that banger on in my car? You haven't, right? So these celebrities, they are narcissistic, which all of these cluster Bs, they can mix together, and then they have histrionic behavior. So she's like, oh, people aren't talking about me. People are, look, now it works, right? Because I have a whole live, I'm talking about these people, right? And so then it's like, oh, well, I thought I had a miscarriage, but actually it was an abortion. Whoopsies. Yo, stop playing around with real stuff. And you know what you just did for the abortion argument? This is why Roe versus Wade is a joke. To me, it was never supposed to happen. You had another narcissist who was like, yeah, I was raped, so I need an abortion. So they was like, oh yeah, we're gonna be feminist lawyer. We're gonna fight this. We're gonna do this. So yeah, we're gonna do it. And by the time they came out in the Supreme Court with that, she was like, she already had the baby and put the baby up for adoption. She later on was like, I wasn't raped. I was sleeping with a married man, and I, you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, I forgot to cover that up. You know what I mean? He didn't, something happened. That's probably, I want to say about a good 70% of these abortions that we're seeing. That's the real conversation. Okay. There is a real conversation to be had. There are people who have been raped, and, and instantly after being raped, it's like, let me get the plan B. And if the plan B didn't work, they know it and they got to do what they got to do. Okay. There are bad things that have happened, but there's no reason in my lifetime where I have met people who have told me, like, I've had 15 abortions where it has become birth control. It has become birth control. People having late term, like, nah, I'm not keeping it no more because he's getting on my nerves. And then the man can't even have a discussion about anything with it. I know it's my body, my choice. That's a child. There's people who had to do what they had to do. I'm not judging nobody. There's some people, some people I am. Yep, well, that's a part of life. There are some people who had to simply do what they had to do. And maybe a couple times they had to do what they had to do. And you can tell when they're like, especially when at a young age and you're like, yo, I don't know how did this happen? Like, how it happened. Like, yo, man, we all fall short in some fashion. But there's people who they say that. And then they're like, when they're done, they're like, I can never do that again because, like, I'm getting older now and I know better and I'm learning from my mistakes and whatever. And I hold that near and dear, and I talk to my Lord about it. And I've had my, I'm saying, it's between me and my Lord, and I'm repenting and I'm doing it. Yes, I know that's happened. But there's a lot of people who are like, fuck that. I'm sorry for cursing y'all. There's a lot of people who are just like, F it, I'm just getting an abortion. And they keep constantly getting, I'm not having this baby. I'm not having this, but constantly getting abortion, constantly. That's a real discussion. So miss me with the, what I'm saying, like, where I'm supposed to feel like, oh my God, they're going to stop women's rights and we need to be able to have our abortions. I'm sorry. I'm too old for that now. I'm not fighting that fight. Maybe I'd afford it at 20, but I'm not fighting it at 39 because I'd like to think that I know how not to get pregnant, right? There's something called preventative care, and they say this is women's health care, to keep slashing up a uterus, to keep slicing and dicing into a soft uterus every time is women's health care. Don't give me those cushy words. Call it what it is. And so for people who still worked up about Roe versus Wade, they took it out of the federal court. Yes, where you don't want it there. If you're a liberal, that's the last place you want Roe versus Wade, because everybody keeps thinking like, no, yeah, and then it'll always be safe there because we always have like bipartisan and da da da. You never know when a tyrannical, like if you want to call, conservatives tyrannical, so you don't know when a tyrannical conservatives come in and change up the court and be like, yo, now we banning it outright. People say to me, we should all be doing the same thing in every state. No, we should first of all, that was never even the discussion. That was never even the dream of the people who started this nation, right? It was always supposed to be states govern themselves, and then federal government helps out a little bit. That's what it was supposed to be. We're just so used to big government so much that we think that that's normal. That's not normal. And so it doesn't have to be just because in New York you are banned from, using guns for self-defense, that in Nebraska they got to deal with the same thing too. No. So it doesn't have to be in New York because you're banned now from having an abortion, because guess what? Somebody came in and tyrannically banned it because you kept it in the federal court, right? So they found a way to tyrannically ban it altogether, make their own decision with it or whatever, find some way to codify some sort of something, because it was in big government, right? And then, you know what I'm saying? They found a way to do that. And then now everybody can't have one. I give you the argument, liberal. That's what I do. Yeah. So let's see. My best friend, she said to me, she said, my best friend is like, she's not on the chat, but she always cracks me up because she brings the excitement to like me on this thing. So she put, you love the phrase borderline personality disorder because there's so much of it out here. It's so much of it. Everybody's emotions are letting them run wild. Everybody's making an emotional decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it all is because of, anyway, I ain't even gonna go there. It's not that night, but it's just everybody's being emotional. Like, I have to live my truth and my reality and all. It's like, come on. And then she said, damn, you letting people ram their heads into walls. I know when somebody's really gonna try to hurt them, so they don't tell you, they just do it. They just do it. But when you give me the disclaimer, like, if you don't such and such, I'm gonna do this. We ain't trying to do that. And if you do it, well, I'll take care of you. You know what I mean? After the fact, yeah. You know what I mean? Borderline personality disorder is real bad. I see adolescents. I had this one adolescent girl. She was there for suicide. And I was like, so like, what happened? She was like, this girl she was allergic to everything. God, heaven help us all. It was to the point where the girl was going hungry because they didn't know what to feed her. Allergic to everything. And so her mom was getting on her nerves and she picked up some bread and was like, I'm going to do it, Mom. I'm going to kill myself. Sometimes you got to meet these people head on and be like, well, go ahead, you take a bite out of that. I'll call 911. They'll give you a trach and they'll suction you. And, sometimes you got to tell people their reality and they put the loaf down. What am I supposed to do? Right. But I also want to talk about something else real quick that just showed up on, like, this is crazy. We're going to go to the Shade Room. I don't like to put kids on my channel. Damn, Casey, you're on late. I know traditions I am, but we're going to use this. If we're going to use this material, I mean, we are going to use this material. I know I'm on late because like I had stuff to do, but I had to come on. But we're going to use this material though. So I want to get the latest articles. No, I don't. Let me leave this girl's thing alone. Y'all, there's a lot of ladies running around with borderline personality disorder and don't fall for it. Yeah, and that's how I'm saying it. That is how I'm saying it. Oh, that's not good. You're telling people they shouldn't believe all women. Well, what happened the last time when you believed Amber Heard? Okay. I tried to take Johnny Depp's whole freaking life from him. You know what I'm saying? And she was lying and he won that case. Now I don't know why men not running around parading that case and saying, yes, finally, we caught y'all red-handed. Do it, men. Get your balls back. Sorry. Y'all know me. So Aretha Franklin, respect. Rolling Stone 500. I can't wait for the Aretha Franklin movie. I want to see that movie. People think so. I was told by somebody, oh, you said you're not, oh, she's saying she's not watching The Woman King, but I bet you she's not gonna watch an Emmett Till movie. I probably won't. I don't really watch movies like that. I never said that I would. I told y'all how I feel about liberal media, but I just because everybody like panders. It's just a bunch of pandering. They don't tell the story the right way. I went to go see that Harriet Tubman movie, and the Harriet Tubman movie, like they made a black man named Bigger Smalls. Okay, was it bigger long? It was bigger long. A whole description of a black. Okay, and they made him the villain, and somehow you could feel almost a sexual tension between Harriet Tubman and White Master. I said, this is crazy. Like, so here we go. I didn't know who this was at first. Zoey Wade, Dreams Become Reality. Tiffany and Co. So she must be, they did good. They got me to say she. Shade Room, trifling. Okay, Zoey Wade, we see you. And all right. This is sad. This is what borderline personality gives you. Who do I blame? I blame Gabrielle Union for this. I do. Y'all are taking kids and y'all parading them around so you can live vicariously through them. Okay. This child, kids, when they are like 11, 12, 13, 14, we all go through an identity crisis. We're trying to figure out who we are. Like we're trying to be accepted, this, that, and the third. And instead of like really being on a calm and slowly, talking about the real issues that the child might be having, it's like we already just do a bunch of changes and we start parading them around. We start to just parade them around, and then it's like, yeah, because we have a trans child, we got a trans child, and this is the new Munchausen by proxy. It is the new Munchausen by proxy. This is when I say women are terrible, because I really believe that Gabrielle Union was all over this. I don't care. I told y'all come in here for the inconvenient truth. Okay. So, and I'm not saying that this child wasn't struggling through something. I'm saying don't rush into this a kid. I hope there weren't too many permanent decisions made. I don't know if this child is on hormone blockers or whatever. Those drugs are very dangerous. They are. People want to say the trans community is the highest community of suicide. If you cared, you'd look into the side effects of the drugs that they give for the hormone blocking and puberty blockers and stuff. And we're giving them to kids. So y'all want to see what gender affirming care looks like, right? What is gender affirming care? Let's go ahead and find out. A shade room. I hate it. Beautiful. Let's see what else everybody say. First of all, they censor the any kind of like opposition to this type of stuff. So you're gonna ate it up. Yes, the good wig. I'm here for it. Face card definitely giving what it's supposed to, and like cute. She a cute girl though. I ain't going to lie, laughing my whatever. Gorgeous, beautiful. OMG, so cute. Comments about to be toxic AF. Don't get caught in 4K hating on a kid. You a weirdo. Who are you? Who are you? Let's pull this creep up. A song called Life Podcast. A song called Life Podcast. You a whole weirdo. You are gonna sit there talking about don't get caught hating on a kid. Why? Because people wanna say that you shouldn't rush your kid into anything permanent like that. Maybe talk to them and figure out what's going on. These are kids, man. These are kids. As a child, as a 14-year-old, if somebody would have ever told me that I would be talking about stuff like voting, or no matter of fact, even better, as a 14-year-old, somebody ever would have told me that I had to get the tightest pants that I could find, or like if I was when I go out, I was gonna try to have like my boobs out as much as possible. I'd be like, oh my God, no, I'm not dressing like that. I'm always gonna be a tomboy. My best friend noticed this. She is Khadija. Are you still there? She noticed. That's what we said when we was 14. We were like, no. This older senior was like, you guys are gonna be dressing like that with sheer shirts and stuff. And we was like, no way, we're gonna be tomboys forever. We're never dressing like girly girls. We're always gonna be tomboys. And then before we even got to senior year, it was like, oh yeah, them Guess jeans, yeah, they real tight around it. Yeah. Like, yeah. Stop it. Okay, these are kids. They don't know. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We going through life. I was the biggest tomboy. But I want to show you some gender affirming care. We're gonna end off on this because I gotta tape a video about my experience at the Doug Mastriano rally. I had a great time. But anyway, gender affirming surgery. Please, adolescents. Please. Oh shoot, I can spell. Please Google all right, we might have to go to my Twitter because I think a lot of this stuff I definitely did. I bookmarked it because Google, they're not going to show you none of that. They're not going to show you what I'm about to show you. You ain't see none of that. Gender reassignment children is a big, yeah. Ooh, whoa, what is this? I just hit a button. Hundreds of children with gender dysphoria are subjected every year to treatment with hormones and then with genitalia mutilation. What is, oh yeah, this is not in America. Yeah, this is something else. This definitely didn't talk about this in America. So let's go to my, all right, I have notifications, y'all. Let's see what we're notifying. Oh, Velociraptor. Thank you for sending me little kisses. Thank you, my friend. So hold on. Let me see. Tariq Nasheed was going. He was going off. Hold on, let me see.
A lot of Black men sometimes feel like they're ignored or they're put down, particularly sometimes even by Black women in the media. So this is not that. Made a really legitimate point here. I will say, you know, a lot of Black men sometimes feel like they're ignored or they're put down, particularly sometimes even by Black women in the media. So this is not that. But I do hear Roland's point that felt ignored. But you feel ignored and then you go over to the other side. The oppressed feel oppressed. So then you go and try to align with the oppressor. So I'm not putting Black men down, but sometimes it's like, well, some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening and get in line with some of the Black women. Is majority, like he said, vote Democrat, but that margin of people who can be plucked away from your people and go advance policies that harm your people, I just don't understand that. Roland made a really
how dangerous the Black woman can be. Hold up, let me pause back real quick. Do you see how dangerous the Black woman can be? We are powerful. I know I have power. I went to a Walmart the other day and they were trying to sun us at the Walmart. They were trying to play us like, well, we're not going to bring all this up here because you're not supposed to be. I'm like, the customer is always right. And I had to speak up for the two customers behind me who were a little intimidated. And I'm like, no, we were standing here and everything. And we, you know what I mean? Like the customers, and it would, believe me, I'm giving it to you fast, but it was like a situation where we were at the electronics thing line because the other lines was all the way almost like far back or whatever. And people told us like, go to that line because there's nobody there or whatever. So anywho, hey, Sarah, how are, oh, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. So I used my, you know, and the kid was like, no, I'm not bringing all this up. If I bring you up, then I'm gonna have to bring them up. I said, first of all, that is weird that you're saying that to me. I used to work for this company. There's no, years ago, 20 years, but there's no way, because like I'll be feeling like it was yesterday. That's crazy how time is. But I said, there's no way you could be telling me that, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, I want to see your manager. And I was like, no, we're going to make a stand about this. I said, because a lot of stuff, people have been getting away with a lot of stuff in society. And I calmly told her, like, in a diplomatic way, like, listen, I understand there's something going on, but like customers, like, I'm not asking you to do anything crazy. We all have like 2 items each or whatever. And I'm buying a printer and he'd rather walk away from the sale instead of doing his job. And but she did help us out and I said thank you. But then the other 2 behind me, they were afraid to, you know, I don't want to be like they were afraid, but they were afraid to speak up. I was like, nah, y'all, we got this. And so then, you know, I mean, we walked up to the thing, whatever, everything worked out. So Black women, don't listen to them when they tell you that they are oppressed. They know they're not oppressed because we know we have power. We do. We know we do. We don't shut up. Nobody's going to tell us to shut up. You're not going to tell them, you damn sure not going to tell me to shut up. No, right? This lady talking about oh, stick with the black women. Don't go to the oppressed side. Y'all just need to listen to. Let's real quick. Look at this, and I went to go find about gender affirming care, which I'm gonna get right back to, which is called mutilation. I'm gonna get right back to it, but I didn't listen to this earlier.
Voting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening and get in line with some of the black women. Is majority, like he said, vote Democrat, but that margin of people who can be plucked away from your people and go advance policies that harm your people, I just don't understand that.
Advanced policies that harm your people. Well, I guess she's talking about, I don't know, maybe law and order. So what do you connect black to criminality immediately? What do you want? I want fairness and policies. They're going to advance policies that's going to talk about, putting people in jail. Black people, they talking about they're going to put criminals in jail. What you going to do about that? I don't think you want that, because when your son goes to jail, that's how they think, yo. Your own people are telling you this, and the liberal white person's gonna say, well, what are you gonna do when your child goes to jail? That's what Gavin Newsom said when Larry Elder was. I know I'm going on a tangent, but this just irritated me. When Larry Elder was running, he was like, he's talking about putting people in jail and stuff. What are you guys gonna do? And he saw a bunch of black people behind him, like, yes, she's right. And I'm just like, what the frick is this? And so that's what, look, you see what she said? And she said, yep, they need to, black folk, if you are listening, do not vote Democrat. And I try not to tell people what to do. If you want to have control over your life, and especially if you're listening in Philadelphia, and you want to have control over your life, there's an election coming up. You give Democrats some room. The next time there's two sniffles in the air, they're going to tell you to shut down your barbershop, shut down your washing, your car washing service, shut it down. They're going to own you. That's what they do. They want to empty out the jails. They say, for discriminate for black justice reform. They might as well just call it that, right? Because that's how they feel. And what do you think? These stick up kids, they go right back home. Not only do they stick you up, then they lodge one in right here. They have no problem if they can aim. And then if other people are around, they gotta get hit too. So she says, don't vote for policies that are hurting your people without any example. I'm sure, even though this was cut off right there, I'm sure there was no example. So Tariq Nasheed, I do come for him because I have said that to me, that his followers don't know the real situations going on. Like basically that the IRS is getting ready to come for them. The FBI is coming for them. I mean, if they have any type of free thinking in them, that they should be really focused on these bills that are coming out. You know what I mean? I even sent them one of my videos. I'm like, hey, listen, he does talk a lot about tethers and other races and of black, and they lose focus on things. It's like he says he's fighting to get reparations. Guess what? I think they're gonna give people reparations because they're trying to tank the dollar anyway, so they don't care. So I will say like that, so that's where I get mad at him. That's where I really get upset with him, because I feel like he's smart, but I feel like you are distracting people. Listen, foundational black, ADOS, whatever, that's cool, man. Be proud of the fact that you can trace your ancestors back to the American soil, but at the same time, do something with that. Y'all be sitting there like, yeah, because we built this land. Okay, then what? Donald Trump told y'all that too. He did say that. But then what? All right, your ancestors built this country. What are you doing? Talking about other races? Making fun of people? What are you doing? Not particularly him, even though that's what he gets them to do. What are you doing? Come on. So he said, I'm sorry. I got to show you this surgery. I'm just sorry. Excuse me. So he says, so the white Democrats are sending their plantation flunkies in the media to encourage black people to vote without getting anything for your vote, while calling me out by name, telling you not to listen to me. I respect the black person who says I'm not voting because I feel like neither party's doing anything for me. I actually respect that. I do. I don't respect this conversation. You need to vote Democrat because they're not going to oppress you. Meanwhile, every time you turn around, you feeling more stress. You feeling more stress on your back. Now you got to worry about being carjacked. You got to worry about, are they going to shut you down, shut your kids down, put on masks? You got to worry about all that, right? Medical apartheid, it's here. Some places you can't go get a daggone. Like I said, at the cheeseburger, you can't even go. Like, my body might do it. But it was my body, my choice too. But they said, because you a nurse, you got to take every jab we put out here. All right. That's why I am not voting for anything Democrat. And I understand that, like, you don't get nothing for your vote. I don't need the government to do it. I want the government out of my life as much as possible. But I need you off my back. Get rid of these regulations. Stop doing stuff to me, because I'm not asking you for anything. And Democrats, they do stuff to you. Me and him could agree on a lot of things, but I just hate how he distracts. You know what I mean? But anyway, he got it right today. You know what I mean? He got it right today. I need to just find this little picture here about gender affirming care, so y'all can see what Munchausen by proxy really looks like. And then we are gonna wrap it up, because I gotta definitely do this quick video for about, it's the Doug Mastriano. It's another one I can't stand. I can't stand her. I'm sorry. Cause man, they just talk. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm upset about something. Like, quiet. You know, it's gonna be so annoying when I finally find what I'm looking for, and then when I go to click it, it's gonna reset right back to It's gonna reset back to the first page in the first place. This is not. God, I'm gonna have to make these moves. I'm gonna talk about that last thing. Okay, hold on. Shit, sorry, y'all. Where is that picture? There we go. Rainbow Club, Pride Club for kindergartners. Why we got Pride Club for kindergartners? Why are we worried about who kindergartners have a crush on? When I was in the 4th grade and our teacher noticed that some of us were a little too close, like some of us had, quote, boyfriends in the classroom, she was like, we need to talk about the closeness that's going on, because that's not what y'all came to school for. What's going on? There we go. Here it is. Of all the best, so this is Colin Wright. I follow Colin Wright. He's a journalist. Of all the best possible ways to help this girl with the mental issues, what is the likelihood that cut off her breasts was at the top of that list? I'm sorry. And so somebody put, nothing is okay about this. Nothing is. I hate to do this to this girl, but unfortunately, hun, your mom put you out there, and for Munchausen by proxy reasons. Munchausen by proxy is when somebody has a severe case of a borderline personality disorder, where they do things to say, I have to save somebody. It used to be back in the day that people would have a sick child, and like, oh, I don't know why my baby has this really rare form of cancer, and every time I turn around, they die. And it'd be like, no, mom was putting pine sol in the freaking cereal. You know what I'm saying? And then was getting attention. I seen videos of mothers going back and like smothering babies so that everybody could run in. It's absolutely insane. So, but now you don't hear about that anymore. You know why? Because it has morphed into something else. Munchausen by proxy has morphed into mutilate your children and then say, look how good I'm doing, because everybody is propping up these parents who do this and saying you're doing a good job when they know doggone well that they are committing a crime to their child. So this little girl probably was confused, probably was a tomboy, probably didn't feel pretty. And that's a shame. She's a pretty little girl. Look at all that beautiful red hair. Probably felt like a tomboy, she wasn't sure. You're not supposed to be sure yourself at 11 years old. It's like, let's cut your hair off, and they gave her this permanent, look at this slice, permanent surgery. And you think her smile looks better here than it does here. And her mom was, and somebody be like, well, how you know the mom took the picture? Because women are dangerous when left uncontrolled and left to their own insanity and left to their own emotions without any guidelines. Yes, that does go for everybody, but really women. You know how they say, and Josh Slocum was talking about this from Dennis Prager, how they say men are predisposed to being violent and having violent aggression or whatever. And I'm like, and yeah, that's true. And we need to talk about how women are predisposed to having emotional aggression. Okay. This is disgustingly wrong. You did this to your child. Let me see if I can find something else. And then we're going to talk about that. It's hard to find footage of, quote, gender affirming care, but while we're at it, I don't like putting kids on. I don't like putting kids on television. Here we go. This is fifth grade teacher claims multiple students have come out to her because she's out and proud. 10-year-olds are coming out as trans, non-bi.
Their gender identity. Yes, I have had multiple students come out to me, not just with their sexuality, but also with their gender identity. It's one of the reasons I think it's so important to be out and loud and proud so that people feel comfortable coming to me and talking to me, because I don't know how much different my life would have been if I had had somebody to come talk to about this kind of stuff. My hope is that every student will have somebody that they can talk to about this.
I'm going to read her to you, okay? Now I'm going to read her. This lady, this is me reading her, is ugly. And I don't like calling people ugly. This is me reading you to her, okay? We're going straight. I can't give it to you with a chaser or sugarcoat it. I don't call people ugly. This is how she feels about herself, okay? All right. She's not really ugly, but like she's how she feels about herself. I'm not going to stay stuck on this disclaimer too long, okay? She felt like she's not pretty. She's big. It's hard being, carrying that extra weight. So she never felt secure about herself. The boys didn't like her growing up. They made fun of her. She went through, all kinds of phases and all kinds of introvertedness. Her parents didn't care when she was going through it to at least talk to her, like, what's going on? And maybe if you lost a little bit of weight, hey, look, and I'm not busting. I'm just giving you a diagnosis, So it sounds mean. And again, I don't judge people like this. I'm telling you what they have gone through. And so she found this connection with, hey, listen, if you like girls, you like girls, right? Whatever. But it's like, I'm out loud and proud. So the children accept her because kids are very easily misguided. Kids are very easily misguided. She's running around here with this hair and stuff. And she said, they keep coming out to me this way. How are they doing with their reading, writing, and arithmetic? So while they're coming out to you about all of this sexual identity, right? And being, they're coming out as trans and binary and whatever. Are they coming out to you about, hey, I like that book I read and I was able to comprehend it? Y'all make me sick. Like, we respect women. We value Black lives. We stand with LGBT. We stand with immigrants. Oh, this was from the Martha's Vineyard when everybody's busy pontificating about Republicans sending these illegal people to a sanctuary city. That's what you are. You're a sanctuary city. Everybody got worked up about it. Why do we have this influx that we need to be doing this in the first place? That's the first question. What's going on with the borders? 5 million. 5 million. It would be 5 million altogether by the end of this year. For 2 years, 5 million extra people made it in here. That is inhumane to the people taking that trip. I am not mad at the people who came here because you would be dumb not to come. They asked the guy at the border, they said, is the border secure? He said, no. And I walked right in. Heaven help us all. So how to be an ally to what? Like, schools are just indoctrinating kids. This is how the shop guy came to class. You know what I mean? This person's reportedly a teacher in Houghton. Like, y'all just do too much. What? And that's why the kids ain't learning nothing. They're not. And God, we hurry. No, everybody had a problem and now they want acceptance. And this is such an easy way to be accepted. Because now community is a big thing. I'm non-binary. That Chrissy Tiegen thing, it's a bit insulting to women who've actually lost babies to miscarriage and lie about it. Yep. I don't buy that she didn't realize her doctors are horrible. There's a lot of horrible doctors. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I'm calling things out for what they are. And, I'm not the person who did this. Like, it's disgusting. It is. That was a comment about the Chrissy Tiegen thing. And it's like, she did. Yo, man, like, it's not cool to sit here and parade around. We had a miscarriage, knowing why did you even have to talk about it then? But knowing that you scheduled an abortion. Anyway, so these are the kind of things, I'm saying. So women have been left to, I say women, I do, but it's like, it's a lot of women here. All right, we got a man, but so I'm not.
Moment to talk about it in a quick video. Also, I was dressed really cute and I'm wearing my pronoun shirt. So I was like, it's perfect. Let's do it. So for pronunciation, MX is pronounced like mix, like you're mixing things together. So it's mixed sequel. And when it comes to introducing it to students, honestly, I don't really do too much with it. When students come to my door, my placard outside my door says McSiegel and then my room number. On my syllabus, I put McSiegel. My email signature says McSiegel, as well as having my pronouns in parentheses.
How the kids doing in school? How the tests coming out? They reading? Are they writing? Are they able to balance a checkbook? God, that was so mad. Oh, God, they just make me so sick. Like, I'm sorry, man, for real. So that's where we at with it, y'all. And so last video I want to share is about some brothers who got their balls handed to them on a silver platter. It's Saucy Saturdays. Okay.
It affected Black men.
Absolutely, it exists. And Black men have worked in tandem with white supremacy since they've become.
Cynthia G.
Apparently, I think this is actually a trans. One of these people are trans, whatever. And so this conversation was business of Black being Black. God, if they didn't have this, like, this is another personality disorder too. It's like Black wasn't all this, like, where we act like that. Man, Black used to be like God, family, strength, up, rising above, you know what I mean? Strong blood, blah, blah, blah. Now all we do is pontificate on ways of being victims and white supremacy and talk about how another group of humans has more power over us. How that is a huge sin. If you know that you are a child of God, you should never, ever accept the fact that you are oppressed by any human being. You better rise up. Okay, hold on. And we're going to end off with this. But I've been meaning to talk about this.
White supremacy, does it exist in your world?
Absolutely.
And has it affected Black men?
Absolutely, it exists. And Black men have worked in tandem with white supremacy since they've become in contact with it. And this is why I say in the Black community, we have very disingenuous, very dishonest discussions, especially when it's regarding Black men, because we do have a Black male worshiping culture. So what
She says we have a Black male worshiping culture. After I just showed you the lady on MSNBC who just said XYZ, that you know what I'm saying, that that don't listen to Black men, listen to Black women and all that. But that's so beautiful. We have a Black loving
white supremacy since they've become in contact with it. And this is why I say in the Black community, we have very disingenuous, very dishonest discussions, especially when it's regarding Black men, because we do have a Black male worshiping culture. So what we do within that culture, and Umar Johnson is showing it today, is absolve Black men from any accountability for what they've done. Number one, we wouldn't be in a system of white supremacy had it not been for Black men. So if you want to go all the way back to history, then let's go back to history when Black men were selling their own people into white supremacy. Let's go back into history when 16 years off the plantation, Black men were worried about a war being waged on them. They were worried about getting access to white women. That's what you were worried about. And it's interesting. There's a reason why I feel like Umar focused mostly on me and Hope's attitudes, and it's because he can't accurately answer the question. He mentioned names, not accomplishments. And the reason being is because
I think he mentioned those names specifically because the accomplishments of those people don't have to be explained.
Right, but those accomplishments are also accomplishments that I've heard Umar Johnson speak negatively about, specifically the civil rights movement and how damaging it was to Black people. But now he wants to sit here and say the very people who accomplished that were accomplishing something beneficial when, in his own opinion, that wasn't beneficial and did more harm to the community than good. So I think that because we're having such a dishonest discussion where Black men don't want to take accountability for what they've done, they want to be the victims of society, but then they want submission from the women. The bottom line is I'm not willing to deflect from the fact that, number one, Black men are the greatest non-white contributors to white supremacy. Let's just be real. White supremacy couldn't even exist without Black men's compliance. They're always uplifting whiteness, biracial children, and trying to assimilate. And that's why I went back to the notion of the only time Black men truly feel like there's a war against them is when they feel like they're being punished for something white men do. At the
Cynthia G.
Whoever that guy is who hurt her feelings, man, that's crazy that guy broke her down like that. Boy, that's really terrible. Umar sat there and this boy, I mean, they both sat there and they took she handed them her ass on a silver platter and they sat there and they took it. And they dare not speak above her. They dare not try to speak when she is talking. And Umar knew, I ain't gonna say nothing. I think these people are paid now by corporate shills, you know, but they are corporate shills. They're not the people who they used to be. She says that Black men are the reason for white supremacy, you know, white supremacy, because in the past, after 16 years, y'all went looking for white women and blah, 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 and y'all wasn't raging the war and da, 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 da. And it's like, yo, man, this past living, maybe this stuff is true. Maybe it is, but can we get it? I don't have the DeLorean to get back in to go and to solve these issues when I wasn't there for them. We don't have a DeLorean. I don't have my flux capacitor. It broke. Okay. So I can't go back to the past if this is true, because a lot of times these people speak on this stuff that is true. You know, y'all was worried about women, you know, that's what white women, that's what y'all was doing. And she act like she was there. So maybe we need to borrow her flux capacitor and just go fix it, right? Secondly, she says like y'all are the biggest contributor and the reason for white supremacy. This is why I don't white supremacy. The word that word makes me so sick. I'm so sick of hearing it. The real white supremacy that if y'all really want to talk about it is this liberal corporations that are taking over the people who want to empty jails so that the killers can come back and kill you. If that's what you really want to talk about, but you don't. You know what I'm saying? But in my life, like, oh, do you think white supremacy is no human. If y'all start living like individuals, y'all will collectively make a bigger noise. No human is ever going to stop me from what I'm trying to do. And it's just that simple. It's just that simple, y'all. So here we are today. I don't buy into this narrative of, you know, like, oh, well, because the white man this and the white man that and the white man this, man, please, what you doing? What are you doing? Man, I don't buy into none of it. But now it's time to say goodbye. It's like, no. But all right, y'all. So we are done for tonight. If you have not subscribed yet to this channel, please hit subscribe. I'm going to be working on my website. I know I was like, the next time I come to y'all, I'm gonna have my website. Tomorrow I'm off all day. I'm working on my website. And that's where people will be able to find me more easier, like everywhere I'm at. You'll see all my links where I'm connected and everything, and things are going to start being a little different. I am going to be focusing on a lot of election material coming up on this channel because we're getting closer and closer to the midterm, and I got to do something. Pennsylvania is a very sovereign state to live in if we keep it that way. Okay. All right, guys, thank you for coming through. I know it's late, and but I really appreciate the support. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you made it all the way through. Like I said before, please hit subscribe, guys. Please hit subscribe. Help a sister out. The censorship is real. White supremacy is censoring. It's like, no, but like, please help a sister out. All right. You guys, again, thank you. I love the vibe that I always have when I come on live with y'all. I've been lazy. I've been coming on live so much that I'm not even making videos. I need to make my videos again. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.